Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Haley. January favorites, you guys. We're back on the favorites train and I'm excited. Normally I say I cannot believe that it's the end of January. This time to that I say January has felt like it is 10 million years long. I just feel like as a teacher in the third quarter is the longest. We only get like 2 days off the whole quarter until spring break, and it is quite a journey. And so I feel like I'm excited that January is almost over. But I am excited because I have quite a few products here because I haven't done a favorites video in a while. A few you're going to hear as a repeat from my yearly favorites because that's, I tried them for 2 months and I've used them like almost every single day. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to put them in my yearly favorites. But they should be in my monthly favorites too because I've really only discovered them since like October. So it's only like maybe 2. But I also have like a perfume. I have some lifestyle favorites in here. So I am really excited to get into it. I'm running currently on 4 hours of sleep. We had a fun Friday night at my in-laws' house, and I'm in a surprisingly good mood despite the fact that I'm really tired. So I don't feel like I'm looking the best just because I feel like I'm looking tired. Putting the hair in a ponytail was about all I could muster for today, but here we are, so let's get into it. I'm gonna start with the makeup items. The primer and a little bit of the foundation. For some reason, my camera was in the wrong setting when I filmed those, so I don't know if I actually got any good clips of those. If I did, I'll insert them, but the rest of it, I got good clips, I think. So let's start with this product here, which I actually had in a shorts video as like a fail, and it's the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. And this has been around forever. I mean, I remember this being out in like 2018, maybe even before that. And basically it's like a glowy primer before the rise of the glowy primers. You know what I mean? I have the shade 901 Fair Glow here. And the reason why I originally thought of this as a fail is because if you use too much of this and with the wrong foundation, it can pill up under your foundation, especially if you use too much. The first time that I put it on, I used way too much. So I tried it a couple more times and used less, and I now get the hype. This is really, really pretty. It's interesting. I have really grown to love glowy primers. I really need to do a glowy primer like ranking video because if you're curious, I would say this is not as glowy as the Physicians Formula liquid highlighter or even the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, but it has more glow than the Maybelline 4-in-1 Glow Makeup. So I really like this, and I think it's cool that there's different tones of it and stuff too. I like that depending on the type of glow you want, you could choose your own glowy primer, and I do find myself reaching for this a lot. So I'm really, really happy with it. Okay, now this one has definitely been in a fails video, and I cannot believe that I have moved it into a favorite, but it just goes to show you guys. This is the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. I have had such a journey with this product. I was gonna return it, you guys. I even printed out the label, did the whole box thing. It's really hard here on the Big Island where I live because there's no Sephora. So to return, order from Sephora, you have to do the whole shipping process. And so this sat in a box in my car, in my hot car, 4 months. And then I cleaned out my car, and I'm like, I guess I'll drag this back in. And I was like, there's no way this is good now. Like, it's been sitting in my hot car for months and months, but I put it back into my collection. And about a month ago, I started retrying it, shaking it really well. And this is another one where I have found you can very easily use too much of it. And I actually think today I might have used a little bit too much of it because I wanted to show you. I wasn't sure if my first take actually got on camera, so I did another one. I added just a little bit more on this side. It's really pretty though. I mean, people that say that this is opaque full coverage or that this is super full coverage, to me, this is like a high medium coverage, and it's very easy to apply too much. So I don't really think that this builds much. I think what you've got is pretty much what you've got, or else it starts to look crazy. But it does look beautiful. I mean, it looks like skin. That's the awesome thing about this. The other thing I'll say is, for me, it's the longevity of this, at least in the humidity of Hawaii. After about 5 hours, maybe 7, depending on the products you used underneath, like the primers, it starts to really break up for me around my chin. So like I'll wear this when I'm going to work and it looks really beautiful most of the day, but definitely by like that 2 o'clock time when it's time for me to go home, or 3 o'clock, it starts to not look good. I would not want to like go on a date after that or something with my foundation not touched up, because it just really starts to break up, especially around my chin, which is very odd for me. That doesn't happen with any other foundation. Like my nose, yes, I get sometimes lines here and stuff, but not breaking up on my chin. It's very odd, but it's still really beautiful. And if you're only going to wear it in extreme humidity for like about 5 to 7 hours, then you're good. My husband's a caterer and I'm often helping him with jobs. And so foundations that I wear are often on for like 12 to 15 hours. And there are definitely foundations that I would choose to wear for a day like that over this one. Might be an interesting video, actually. I should do a video of like my makeup routine when I really want it to last on days like that. Okay, I have another foundation and I have been testing this for a long time. This is the Perfect Cover Misha BB cream. This I got at TJ Maxx, so it's probably pretty old. I would love to try one that's like very new and fresh. I finally get the hype. I've been hearing Jessica Braun, my buddy, guys, she shared one of my stories where I was mentioning her in her stories, and it made my month, my life. It was so sweet, and so many of you guys started following me on Instagram and subscribing here on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure based on her doing that. So thank you. If you love Jessica Braun too, she is my favorite YouTuber, you guys. I love her so much. Anyway, I understand the hype. She's been talking about this product for years. This is like, seems like it's probably a little travel sized. I have the shade number 21, and this one is a squeezy instead of a pump like I know it's normally a pump. And it's this really pretty gray tone, which if you don't really know what undertone you have, is awesome because it sort of just all blends in. This, I would say, is like a low medium coverage, and I think that's why I wasn't sure if I liked it for a while, because I've always been a little bit higher of a coverage gal, but I think I'm discovering as I get more into my 30s, I'm still only 30, but I'm like 30 and a half almost, that I'm finally feeling pretty confident in a little bit lower of a coverage, because you can also shear this out. You could use a lighter layer and it still looks beautiful. I just love it too. It's another one that really looks like skin, but it definitely has a little bit more of a moussey, thicker texture than like the House Labs one. And this lasts beautifully for hours and hours and hours, much longer than the House Labs. And it doesn't do that breaking up thing that I was talking about. Plus it just feels like skincare because it's a BB cream. And that could just be psychological, but I really, really like this. Products blend surprisingly well on top of this. I feel like a lot of BB cream type products that I've tried, and maybe I just need to try more because I know there's newer ones that are really good that have come out. Products don't blend well over them. The one exception I've always had is the It Cosmetics CC cream, which is really more of a foundation. But I am really loving this, and it's just so interesting. I was thinking about it this morning about the lower coverage thing, and it all started because I had cystic acne really badly when I was in high school and college and even like in my early 20s. And so I wanted really full coverage foundations because it was bad, you guys. I mean, people would ask me if my face was bleeding if I left the house without foundation on because it was so red because I'm so fair. And I remember my dermatologist telling me, she was like, honestly, I think a lot of it is hormonal, and when you reach your 30s, it'll probably even out without you having to go on Accutane, but I don't know if you want to wait that long. And I didn't, and that's why I went on Accutane. And that's, again, a story I need to tell eventually, like a whole story. That day is not today. But I'm just saying, I'm proud of myself, what a long way I've come to feeling like I can use a very light amount of something like this and feel confident in my skin. So just thought I'd mention that very long-winded story. Ooh, next one. My mom got this for me for Christmas. This is the one thing I asked for. Thank you, Mom, because I know you're watching this. The Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Palette. Guys, this is so pretty, and I have wanted to use this every single day since Christmas. I have used this almost every day for a month. It is so pretty, and I love the toppers in here, the glitter toppers, which I feel like everyone talks about. But I actually made a short about this recently. What I feel like no one talks about is how gorgeous the mattes are in here. This might be my favorite matte formula. My old favorite used to be the Makeup Geek ones, and of course Makeup Geek doesn't exist anymore. This is a very, very close, similar formula, like a very close second. So if you loved those and you haven't tried the matte formula from Makeup by Mario, you really should, because it's really similar. It's powdery and soft, but not too powdery, like almost like an Anastasia one can almost be too soft and powdery, where it's too pigmented and then you have to like figure out how to blend it out. It's like the perfect ratio of that, and it blends so beautifully. And I know people are like, mattes are not that hard, but I have not found a lot of mattes that I absolutely love. I love these mattes a lot more than the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. I think that palette and this palette are almost like sisters and work really well together, have very similar color stories. But I don't know, I don't think I could choose a favorite, but right now I'm really loving this one. And I totally get now the hype of like the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette, because if that's the same matte formula as this, I can understand wanting a full matte palette like that, which this has been my favorite palette for a long time. It is from Makeup Geek, and it is their Matrix palette full of just mattes. Any matte you would basically need is in here. And this is really old though. Like this is 4 years old, and definitely in the next year I feel like I'm probably gonna have to get rid of it because it's gonna be so old and expired. I should replace it with the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes, because I mean, really similar formula. I might even like the Makeup by Mario a tiny bit more. I'm not sure. This, I am so flipping happy. I have tried in the last month the e.l.f. Lash Extender mascara. It's a tubing mascara, which is my favorite. And you'll know if you've been following me for a while, my irritation with tubing mascaras, even though I love them, is that they don't really give volume. They give a lot of length. They don't give a lot of volume normally, but they're the only ones I can use because of the shape of my eyes. They're very almond and they're hooded. And so normal mascara, like literally any normal mascara, gets everywhere. Like gets underneath my eyes, will transfer up here. And so I started using a tubing mascara maybe in the last 4 years or so. And I've tried a lot, you guys. I should do a video ranking all the ones I've tried too. And recently I bought the Merit one, which I really liked because I was like, oh, this kind of adds a tiny bit of volume. Nothing like this. This is amazing. This adds volume, it adds length, it adds curl, it does not smudge. I have full on cried wearing this mascara and it does not budge, which other ones like the Thrive Cosmetics, which I think this is supposed to be a dupe for, tubes run down my face as I cry when I wear that one. So I am obsessed with this. I had low expectations, but I'm so happy. I like it better than the Milani one, which was my favorite last year. Like this in 1 month has knocked that one totally out of the water. I just love, love, love this mascara. One that is in my yearly favorites video for high end. I had to include it because I just had to. It should also be in this video though, because I started using it in November. The Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer. This concealer is amazing. I said it in my yearly favorites video. It reminds me a lot of the NARS Creamy Concealer, Radiant Creamy, but it's better. Like the coverage is higher and it lasts better throughout the day. There isn't quite as much creping. And I just have a lot of lines under my eyes, so I will always deal with some lines no matter what. But this one I feel like is definitely less than others. And it's just beautiful. You'll see when I'm applying it and blending it out. It just has a beautiful, also glowy kind of finish that really brightens up your under eyes and makes you look more awake. It just does so many great things at once. I wish it weren't so expensive, but I'm definitely going to repurchase it again because it is so good. Like my favorite concealer of last year was probably the NYX concealer serum. And I like this, oh gosh, 10, 20 times more. It's beautiful. Okay, sorry, my camera died, so I had to take a break. Hopefully it doesn't look too different. I took maybe like 15, 20-minute break. The next product, I don't think my expectations could have been lower with this product. I'm gonna be honest with you, I love e.l.f., but I'm kind of starting to get over the whole e.l.f. duping everything. But I was really curious about the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blushes. And I got 2 shades. I got this one in Suave Mauve and I got a more peachy one. This is the one I'm going to talk about today, the Suave Mauve. I was so pleasantly surprised by this. I have wanted to use this every single day. And what I do is I just take 1 dot because they are very pigmented. And I literally just put 1 dot on my face, which you'll see in the video. And I blend it out with this e.l.f. and it's a dual-ended brush, and I blend it out with this side, which is a little bit more dense. This stuff is so pretty. It has the prettiest glow. It's such a pretty mauve tone, and what surprised me so much about it was that you can blend it beautifully underneath powder, but I did it over powder today, and that's pretty much how I do it every day, and it still blends beautifully over powder. I'd say it's maybe a little bit more difficult to blend in, and it's not hard though. It's just a little bit more challenging than when it's under powder, but it still looks beautiful. And I mean, I'm taking my magnifying mirror and I look up close and it just looks like a beautiful flush to the cheeks. It doesn't look broken up. It doesn't look cakey. It just looks beautiful. And I don't know how they did it. It's gorgeous, and what I really like to do with this too is I like to take setting spray. I didn't do this today because I was kind of in a hurry, but I like to take my setting spray and spray it at the end, and then if you take a sponge and just lightly pat over it, the glow becomes even more pronounced, and it's really, really pretty, you guys. I am so pleasantly surprised by those blushes. I could not believe it. So those 2 e.l.f. products that I mentioned in this video, I was not expecting to love them as much as I do. What I really like about the blush is the finish is really, really similar at the end to my MAC Glow Play blush in Blush Please. It's even a similar tone. I still think I like that one just a little bit more because this is a little bit of a thinner formula, and sometimes you're in the mood for something that's a little thicker, but the tone and the glowiness and the way it looks on the skin is super, super similar to that. So if you're familiar with that product, this looks really similar. It's beautiful. I mean, it's a different product. That one is cream to powder and this is just a straight up liquid blush, but it's just the finish of it is very similar and it's beautiful and a similar tone. Last but not least for makeup, the Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm. I finally gave in to the years of hype at this point. I got the shade Vanilla Beige. I reach for this multiple times a day, you guys. Definitely every morning, before I put on makeup, throughout the day if I'm home, before I go to bed. It's just beautiful. I normally don't like glossy things, and I definitely don't like sticky things. Not always a huge fan of lip oils, but this is just different. It's like a balm with just a little bit of pigment to it. And it doesn't bother me to have it on my lips. Like I'm not constantly going like, you'll probably even notice in videos sometimes when I'm wearing glosses or even certain types of lipsticks, I keep going. And it's literally because I don't like that texture on my lips, even if I think that the color looks pretty. So this is just beautiful. I'm gonna apply some more right now just because it's like so pretty. I love it. And I think that's what I like about it too, is like you can go ham with it and it just looks good. Okay, I just need to hurry this up because my camera's gonna die again. Another favorite, I got this from Ross. This is the Britney Spears Fantasy Intense perfume. I'll put the notes on the screen. I'm really bad at describing perfumes, but what I like about it is the top note is very sweet, and those are my favorite kind of fragrances, but the bottom I think are more like musky, and it's a perfect then winter to spring kind of fragrance. And it's one of the few fragrances that I don't smell the alcohol smell right away, and I actually want to reapply throughout the day. So I have absolutely been loving this the last few weeks. It's so pretty. I love it. It's like my perfect everyday kind of fragrance that I've been looking for a long time. Again, I got it at Ross. I think I got it for like $20, which is great. So if you find this in somewhere like Ross or TJ Maxx, I really like this. And especially if you like musky, but sometimes it's overpowering for you, and you know you like sweet, I would try this one because it's a really fun, happy medium that's beautiful. Oh my camera died again. I really need to wrap this up. So lighting, I'm sure, has changed again because it's morning, so the sun is just kind of all over the place. This Veet gel cream for legs and body, sensitive hair removal cream. You guys, for years, I have been using the Nair, and I think it was called Shower Power or something similar to that. And it was one where you put it on and you went in the shower and then you could literally like wash it off and like it could go down the drain. I don't know if I think they've discontinued it. I don't know the reason. I don't know if they've like realized it gunks up your drain or whatever. I never had a huge problem with that. But I got their new version of the Shower Power, and it's supposed to be that you can take a shower while it's like sitting on your body, and then you have to get out of the shower and still rub it off. I don't think it works that well. I used up a whole thing of it and I just wasn't a huge fan. So I don't know why I always felt like I had to use Nair, but I saw this at Target and it's Veet. I'd never tried Veet before. I love this, you guys. I love that this is a gel. I love that it comes with this cute little tool, so you can literally use this to like apply it and then use the other side after like 10 minutes or so to scrape it off. And it comes off so well. It works so well. You leave this on, especially longer hair, for like 10 to 12 minutes and it's perfect. And I have not had any skin irritation, which says something because I have really sensitive skin. So I was nervous about trying this, but it's awesome. I'm so happy with it. This one, I've been meaning to mention this in a video for months and months. I got this in September as my little birthday gift from Sephora. It's the Way Leave-In Conditioner. There's a little cap that goes on it too, but it's in my bathroom. I take a shower, obviously I wash my hair, condition it normally, and then I will use this as like a detangler after I get out of the shower. You guys, the smell of Way products is like wealth. I don't know how else to describe it. And I have really high-end things that are scented that I don't say smell like that, like Dior products and things like that. There's something about this scent, the Way scent, that just smells so just good. It smells like a salon, but not a wealthy salon. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It just smells so good. It came with this and it came with a like detoxing shampoo that I'm also liking. But this is definitely my favorite because I leave it in and my hair just combs out really easily when it's wet with like a wet kind of comb. And then when it dries, it's really, really soft. You could also style it after that because this is also a heat protectant. But I like it because unlike other detanglers that I use when I have wet hair, if I don't dry my hair with a blow dryer right away, it looks really oily in the morning when my hair is dry. This does not do that. And of course, I only put it on like the ends, but still, it's awesome. I really, really love this. If you enjoyed this video, I hope that you will subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, I hope you'll hit the notification bell so you get notified when I upload new videos. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Love you guys. Bye.